Before we begin with the video, I do want to explain that in this current Star Wars video, this will only have to do with canon material. Although I will briefly talk about some Legends stuff, I will mention if it is in fact from the Legends timeline and not from the canon one. As personally, I perceive Star Wars as two separate but equal timelines, the Legends and canon version. Again though, a disclaimer for this video, we will solely be focusing mainly on the canon universe and the rules that have been established for it. With that said, I believe that I can convince you that Luke Skywalker's lightsaber should not actually be green. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber after Return of the Jedi should in fact be blue in coloration, and we'll explain why it should be blue as well as why I believe it ultimately ended up being green within the movie. As we learned from Star Wars The Clone Wars and an amendment made by Disney Star Wars is that most Kyber crystals begin clear. In Legends, Kyber crystals already had an inherent color, whether that was red, blue, or green. In canon though, it's a different story, as all Kyber crystals normally start out clear. It is only once a Force user makes a connection with that Kyber crystal that it adopts a certain color. Again, we most notably saw this during the Clone Wars. We also discovered that Sith Lords corrupt their lightsabers through a process known as bleeding. This is when they can take a lightsaber crystal, which has been imbued or not, and pour their very dark side essence into it. And because a Kyber crystal has been described as a living thing, it can bleed, thus turning it a crimson color. This was something that was specifically highlighted in the Darth Vader series, where we actually got to witness the bleeding of Darth Vader's lightsaber crystal. But now let's discuss what each color really means among the Jedi. The Jedi specifically, as of course Luke is a Jedi. The main colors among a Jedi are the only two that we really have an idea of what they represent, even in the canon universe. Currently, we're not really unaware about what the other colors represent, more obscure colors like yellow or Mace Windu's purple lightsaber, although we can't speculate. We do have a pretty good grasp though on what a blue lightsaber color means and what a green lightsaber color means, and therefore based off of the character of Luke Skywalker we can determine what color he should have gotten from his lightsaber crystal. In canon, the color of your lightsaber represented what type of Jedi you were. There were two main groups of Jedi, the Jedi Guardians and the Jedi Consulars, both having different responsibilities among the Order. A Jedi Guardian's job was to protect the wider Order at any cost, and therefore they focused more on lightsaber combat and other more combative gifts of the Force. Not much is actually known about a Jedi Guardian in canon, other than the fact that we know that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker were both considered Guardians, and that a Jedi Guardian was considered, quote, a variation of a warrior master of the Jedi Order. Jedi Guardians typically sported blue lightsabers, which of course is why Obi-Wan Kenobi as well as Anakin Skywalker both had blue lightsabers. They were the warriors and the protectors of the galaxy, the Jedi that actively sought the dark side of the Force and hoped to either conquer it or destroy it completely. Luckily for us though, although we don't know much about a Jedi Guardian, we know a lot about Jedi Consulars in Star Wars canon. The role and mindset of a Jedi Consular in canon is, quote, Consular Jedi were members of the Jedi Order who devoted themselves to the study of diplomacy or science, completely withdrawing from combat and warfare duties. This isn't to say that a Jedi Consular though shied away from combat completely, as of course some of the most notable Jedi Consulars are some of the most powerful Jedi in Star Wars. Characters like Qui-Gon Jinn or Yoda, of course both characters having green lightsabers. These Jedi were very slow to draw their lightsabers, unlike the Jedi Guardians. The Consulars kind of viewed their lightsabers as a last resort, and again a Jedi Consular's lightsaber was green, not blue. So out of these descriptions, I think it's clear that Luke Skywalker does not fit the personality of a Jedi Consular. Luke Skywalker oftentimes is quite brash and quick to run into conflicts, very similar to his own father, Anakin Skywalker. Luke has even been criticized before as lacking all diplomacy entirely, again this being a primary trait of a Consular. Although Luke Skywalker is also very intelligent, his main focus certainly isn't on the science aspect of the Force or the Jedi. Luke Skywalker, yes, is a phenomenal teacher and very attuned to the Force, but Luke Skywalker is also a warrior. By all accounts, Luke should have a blue lightsaber, so why doesn't he? The answer is also really interesting. I believe Luke Skywalker did not actually get to imbue his own presence into a Kyber crystal, and that the lightsaber crystal that Luke uses is not one of his own. I subscribe to the popular theory that Luke Skywalker's Kyber crystal actually originally belonged to Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, and that once Luke Skywalker returned to Tatooine to construct his lightsaber, he found Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber in Obi-Wan's hut. Of course, we know Obi-Wan Kenobi did keep keep Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber after his death, although he seldom used it. Again, I believe that Luke Skywalker did not have immediate access to a Kyber Crystal, of course, as they were outlawed by the Empire following the rise of Darth Sidious. Therefore, finding a clear Kyber Crystal would be nearly impossible. This is why Luke would be forced to use a lightsaber crystal that had already been imbued. The only green lightsaber crystal that we know would be available was of course Qui-Gon Jinn's. We also know that in canon, Luke did in fact construct his lightsaber on Tatooine, and as far as we know of, in the wide-spanning Star Wars universe, Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber is the only one on Tatooine, let alone the only green lightsaber. Therefore, this is where I believe Luke got his Kyber Crystal. And again, by all accounts, if Luke Skywalker imbued his own presence within a Kyber Crystal, I believe with certainty it would be blue and not green. But anyway guys, leave your own thoughts on this in the comments down below. And what color do you guys think Luke Skywalker's lightsaber should be if he imbued his own essence into a Kyber Crystal? Do you also agree with the theory that Luke got his lightsaber from Qui-Gon Jinn, and that he never had the opportunity to imbue his own presence into a lightsaber? Thank you guys as always so much for watching. Leave all of your thoughts in the comments down below. May the Force be with you, and have a great day. Before you go, be sure to check out my other channel, The Marvelous Wave, where we talk all about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including news, breakdowns, and theories about all upcoming and past Marvel movies. Link to the channel is in the description below.